Hello, so for today's craft video we're going to be taking a trip to Guatemala, and in Guatemala they make worry dolls. Now what you're supposed to do is tell the worry doll anything that's playing on your mind, any of your worries, and then you put them under your pillow and the worry people are supposed to take them away whilst you sleep. So to make a Guatemalan worry doll you'll need one pipe cleaner, some embroidery thread. If you don't have this you can use cotton, you can use strips of material, or you can use some wool, some PVA glue and a pair of scissors. Okay, so first step we're going to be making the head. So I'm going to select this colour for the skin tone. Use whichever colour you'd like. If you want to make, I don't know, someone with a green face, that's absolutely fine. So don't worry too much about getting the perfect colours. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my pipe cleaner in half and just pinch so I know where the middle is going to be, and this is going to be the head. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the colour that I've decided to use for the skin, and I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the bend and then start to wrap the embroidery thread or wool or whatever it is you've chosen around to try to cover the yellow. So as you can see here, I glued down the first strand and I just wrapped the embroidery thread around about an inch of the middle of the pipe cleaner so that not much of the yellow is shining through. If a bit of the original pipe cleaner shines through, that doesn't matter at this stage, but just try to cover it as best you can. Then what you're going to do is you are just going to snip the thread like that. It's a bit fiddly, so you might want somebody to help hold this, and then you're just going to put another blob of glue and stick that thread down. Now what you might have noticed is I've put a bit of kitchen roll underneath my craft because it does get a little bit sticky, a little bit messy, and you can use that just to wipe your fingers, and then you won't get it on your clothes. Okay, so I'll just wipe my hands. So it should look like this. Okay, so the next stage, you are going to cross over the pipe cleaners and twist, so you make a bit of a loop for the embroidery thread covered part. And it might come unstuck a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to wrap this as well. Okay, so once you've done this stage, your pipe cleaner should look like this. A little bit like the wishbone, if you know, of a Christmas turkey. Okay, so for the next stage, you need the same colour embroidery thread that you've used to wrap around the pipe cleaner. Going to find the end of it. Oh, where is it? Here it is. And again, you're going to put another blob of glue just on the twist where you've twisted the pipe cleaner. Just there. And then you are going to wrap the embroidery thread around the whole of that loop, which is the head. So once you've wrapped the embroidery thread around the loop to create the head, you are now going to be making the arms. So to do that, you're going to take one of the long strands, pull it straight so it comes out at a right angle, and then pinch that over. And you're going to do the same with the other strand. Okay, so can we see we've crossed over the pipe cleaner? Okay, now after that you are then going to twist the two long bits together, and I think it's easiest if you pinch the head whilst you're doing this. Okay, and you're going to continue to twist so that you form the body, and then the little bits that are left over will be legs. At this point, don't worry if one's longer than the other because you can trim those down. So I'm going to keep twisting to form the body of my worry doll. Okay, so I think that should be long enough for the body. If you can see here, this leg's a bit longer, so I'm just going to trim it down to save me a bit of time wrapping them up. Oh, no, that one's a bit longer. There we go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to decide what colour clothes you want your worry doll to wear. So you can just stick with one colour if you want to go fairly simple, or you can do some patterns or mix the colours up if you'd like. I think because I'm not particularly confident, I've not made these before, I'm just going to stick to one colour for a top and one colour for trousers and leave it there. So I'm going to start by using this red, and I'm going to wrap around the arms and the body to just before the joint to here in the red embroidery thread, using the same technique that I used for the head. So I'm going to have a go now, and then I will show you what it looks like. So once you finish wrapping the thread around to make your clothes, your worry person should look a bit like this. Now if you want to leave it like this, that's absolutely fine, and before you go to bed you can tell it your worries, tuck it under your pillow, and in the night it'll take them away. If you want to add a bit more detail, you can. So you can crisscross some thread over what you've already done to make some patterns. You could stick some hair onto them, or I'm just going to draw a face. Now I haven't tried this, so these pens might not work. If these don't, if you've got some nail varnish or something like that, that would work fine. So I've just got a blue, I'm going to do some blue eyes. So I'll just do 2 little dots. Oh, that worked actually, alright. So if you've got the silky sort of embroidery thread, the Crayola pens do work over them. So I've done some eyes, and I'm just going to do a little smile. Like that, just so he looks a little bit more like a person. Okay, I'm going to leave mine without hair, I think, but feel free to be as creative as you want with your little worry people, and hopefully they will take away your worries as you sleep.